woke up this morning about 12 o'clock. My heart was racing. I was breathing fast. I went into the bathroom and I started to remember who I am. Couldn't handle that dream. That dream was just too much for me. Then when I got up finally at 5 o'clock, I once again reiterated that just to make sure I remember who I am. So my question to you today is a most pertinent question, and that is, are you who you are? Don't answer right now, because it might be shocking. And then again, you might find yourself saying, hey man, I know who I am. Who are you? How do you like your world? Like your world? Well, that's good, because you built it. Are you employed right now? Do you have a job? Yeah. Full-time job? Well, whether you do or you don't, you are on call 24/7 with your world. Where's he going with this? It requires of you all the time your effort and your energy just to maintain it. What's this all about? How can this be? Are you who you are? So, this world that I'm talking about, a lot of us look at it and we say, well, there's me and there's the world. Well, if you look at it that way, then what you're experiencing is an optical illusion of consciousness. I'm not responsible for saying that. But I did pick someone who might impress you, and that's Einstein. Because he's the one that came up with that. If you see the world as separate from you, then that is you experiencing your own optical illusion of consciousness. Should I quit here? It's up to you. For some of you, you won't hear another word. That's okay. Because see, you've already shut down. And that's because this is already scaring the hell out of you. Yeah, that's okay. You know how it goes. So, you see, the mind has these mechanisms that it will automatically click into operation when it feels threatened. So if it gets too scary and you find yourself shutting down, then realize that's your mind going into automatic mode. And it's okay. If ever you find that your world starts falling apart, you'll notice that your mind goes into operation. And it starts building new things to replace the old things if the old things can't be repaired. You lost your lover? Find another one. Somebody fired you from that job? Get another one. You lose a leg? Well, that's another thing. Yeah, I know. Pretty scary stuff. But you see, for some, they start experiencing that their world is coming apart, and no matter what they do, they can't fix it. Now, if you think you're there, and you're still gathering in replacement parts, you're not there yet. You're still under the influence of the mind. Who is using the mind because it is so afraid. And who's using the mind is ego. And ego is always going to have two of its favorites to hook you and get you back into its game. And that is what you desire and what you're afraid of losing. So it's going to show you, here's what you desire. Isn't that wonderful? Ooh, come back, come back. And if you don't, you're going to lose it. Okay, I give up. Tell me what to do. I'm all yours. And all the time you're saying, I'm an awakened being. I'm enlightened. And I'm being driven crazy, but I won't tell anybody else. And if they ask me, are you who you are? I'm going to say, of course I am. So keep on playing your music. Keep on doing your dance. And the next part is really the best part. Whoops. I inhaled. But you see, I got to do that in order to exhale. You know how it works. So if you ever want to try to get out of this, you have to realize that you have to be able to get free from these mental constructs. And there are really two types. There's the manifest and the unmanifest. The one that really drives us crazy is the unmanifest. Because we're always trying to put those into play as an overlay on what's already manifest. So if you want to have any kind of success, then what you want to do is wake up and see what is. And what is right here, right now. And what I want to bypass is what's going on up here, right now. When I can get this up here to disappear, then I can deal with what is, and I'll be most successful. So all I have to do is come to this realization that the unmanifest mental projections are really the illusions. And what's showing up right here, right now, reveals to me my world. Now I can start dealing with this and find that I can be me. And I can be me without being the belief me. And it's okay for me to be me. I can even take sneezes in the audience and it won't affect me. Because I'll realize that has nothing to do with me, but may have to do with this up here. You see, we can take anything and everything and come to a place of simply being present. And in choosing to be present, find that there is a fact that whatever shows up really is something to benefit us and really is for us and about us because it is us. But if we start taking exception to it, if we start getting upset about it, then you can be sure we've slipped back into and in front of our vision those mental projections that cause us all of our pain, our grief. You ever consider that the past and the future are nothing but thought? When we come to that realization, then we're really able to de-emphasize our problems. And we find that our fears and our habit patterns, they begin to dissolve. And the reason is, when we stop paying attention to our past and our future, the substance that we were giving them no longer is being given, and they dissolve. They disappear. We are then able to be here now. We're able to be present. We're able to then focus our attentions on what we really, truly, genuinely like. And we're able to live this. Live it much more fully than if we are trying to dice it up and give some to our mental projections and some to the actual manifestations that are here. Now, then we come to the thing of life. By the way, speaking of life, do you have a life? Yeah? How many of you have a life? Yeah, you have a life? Wow. You're paying attention. And I'm not saying this so you can impress yourself or impress others. But be paying attention because you see, you are life. That translates into you don't even live life. You don't have a life. You are life. I had to say the obvious because it's taken me a while to get it too. Trust me, I am certainly not up here trying to impress you as being better than. I am simply waking up to this realization. I have devoted so much time, effort, and energy into maintaining my life. I have seen it coming apart, and I have done my best out in the open, and hopefully, mostly in secret, to bring it back together again so that you wouldn't see that it's falling apart, because I damn sure don't want you to know that. Because if you do, then it might show that I really am feeling less than. But you see, all of us, when we are unconscious, tend to pay very strict attention to ego and its programs. But as we find that our lives start falling apart sufficiently, then truth actually begins to shine through the cracks of the superstructures that we have built. And when this light shines through, we can have a look and see who we are instead of who we believe we are. Your choice. Really is. And like was said and repeated, hey mom, no problem. Not a problem. So when you come to me the next time, you start telling me about your problem, and you find me not receptive, it's not because I don't like you. I'm just not buying into your story. If you want somebody to buy into your story, turn elsewhere. There's plenty who want to hear it. And you guys can get together and create a story. Hell, you can write a book if you want. You can turn it into song and maybe have an opera. There's all kinds of creative genius that we have. But many times what we do is we use our creative genius and still forget who we are. Okay. Bye.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.